venting frustrations and then being so depleted that you forget what you want to do to try to solve this problem. So that's my goal. I enrolled my daughter in kindergarten, and I called the principal to ask what they were learning. And one of the things I asked was, are you teaching CRT and gender theory? And they said yes. Now, they said they don't call the kids boys and girls. They they refrain from using gender terminology, and they embed the values of gender identity in the classroom, and they do this with common practices. In terms of CRT or anti-racism, because we know that means the same thing. Anti-racism is really just racism. It's just discrimination based on race as a moral imperative. It's racism for good. So don't let them tell you that CRT and anti-racism aren't the same thing. They are. And she said in kindergarten, they asked kids, what could have been done differently on Thanksgiving? As if a 5-year-old can answer that. They have no sense of history, right? I don't even think an adult can answer that. So when I pressed more and I said, why do you ask that? What is the educational objective of that question? Do you have an educational pedagogy to support why you're doing that? They get very flustered. Then now they know you're on to them. She thought that she was just going to make it seem like they were doing something really cool. And I said, well, what's a common practice? Get them to define their terms. Define common practice. I don't know. How long have you been doing this? I don't know. When can you let me know all the things you don't know? I don't know. I will email you the content of our phone call, and then you can tell me when you can let me know once you have more time to think about when you can let me know. Okay? This is how you need to be with your school district. Don't be nice. Be civil, but don't be nice. Let them know that you're scary. And if you're not scary, pretend to be scary. Okay? Play that role. Be robotic. Be mechanical. Don't accept non-answers. I sent her my email and I said, here are all my questions. And at the end of the email, define equity, define privilege, define all these ed-you-speak voodoo terms that no one knows means anything. And then when you define them, I'm going to hold you to your definitions, and I'm going to challenge you on the policies that don't even adhere to your original definitions because it's all bullshit. And they know that you're doing that when you do that, so they're like, oh, we don't want to answer you. Okay, and then what do? You submit public records requests. My school is so stupid, I didn't even know that I could submit public records requests to my school. They have a Google link on their website, and it takes about 3 seconds to submit public records requests, and that's why I submitted 300 in like 5 days. Well, okay, kind of, 2 months. They thought that by telling me to submit public records requests for all my questions that they refused to answer, that they would have successfely evaded answering my questions. But instead, the public records request law required them to respond to me within 10 days with either an estimate or documents. And if they don't respond to me within 10 days, I file a complaint with the Attorney General, which I did. So you need to start using the laws that exist already to make them do the work that they're going to do if they're not going to answer your simple question in the beginning. They're not going to answer your question in 5 minutes. They're going to spend 5 months getting into a mess because they didn't answer your question that took 5 minutes long. Now this takes time, it takes energy, and you need to find a way to love it. You need to love fighting them, okay? You need to be tired at 7 o'clock at night once finally the kids are in bed or you just sat down for dinner, and you just can't wait to take out your phone and submit another public records request on all the bullshit that they won't define, okay? Because at the end of the day, sorry, right here? Sorry. At the end of the day, you're making them work for you, which is what their job was supposed to be in the first place, okay? So now my school said, oh, we have all these public records requests, which by the way, it wasn't a problem. They were giving me estimates for $9,000 for emails from a school committee member. And then I would respond, how do you do these estimates? Because I got my estimate for you. Let me tell you how I would do this. And they said, oh, okay, how about $75? Yeah, that sounds better. Thank you. I'll send you a check for $75. So challenge them. There's a human being at the other end of all the public records requests that you're going to submit, and that human being is dumb. And you're smarter than they are. And you can challenge them. And then that will scare them when you challenge them, because they are not used to this. And if they don't know you, even better, make them think you're scary. Like I said, my school didn't know me. I had never interacted with them. They did not know not to piss me off, or else they would have probably responded differently, but now look where they are. So one day I wake up and I find that they had put my name on a school committee agenda, public school committee agenda, all about Nicole Solas. Action, discussion, file litigation against Nicole Solas for filing over 160 public records requests. They didn't tell me, they didn't notify me, and as soon as I saw that, I contacted the media. And I said, I got a story to tell. I knew I had to go public. They were attacking me publicly, so I was gonna defend myself and attack them publicly. I wasn't gonna let them bully me into silence. People have been telling me, you're so brave. Oh, you're so brave. No, I'm not. I'm mad. And there's nothing else to be scared about. I want to demystify this whole, oh, we need to be brave. You don't need to be brave. There's nothing scary about this. I promise you. Yes, they retaliated against me. Yes, they had a public meeting where they called me racist. Yes, they hired a PR firm to write a racist statement about me, which they then played on Fox News. Guess what? I'm not scared. The whole country knows what's going on. No one takes that accusation seriously anymore. We need to stop being scared of being called racist because everyone's racist. Trust me. If you do something wrong or right, you're still going to be racist. So just get over that fear of being called racist, because if you don't do something now, you're going to be racist because you did nothing. This is where this is going. Everyone's going to be racist. So just get called racist now and get over it, move on, and keep doing your work to fight the school. So then we go to the public school meeting, and they didn't know that I had organized like hundreds of people to come and support me. How did I organize that? I had created a Facebook group to investigate indoctrination in my school, and then I vetted people. Everyone that requested to join, I looked at their Facebook. Who do you like? Oh, did you click like Biden? Yeah, no, you're not coming in. I know this is a bipartisan issue. I know this is about academic transparency, but the reality is that if you're writing all about, leftist stuff on your Facebook, they probably shouldn't come into your Facebook group. Your Facebook group that you start is to gather evidence and share evidence and think of tactics. Your Facebook group is not to convince the other side that they're wrong. So if you think someone's on the other side, that group is not going to be for them right now, and you need to think strategically, okay? I do believe it's a bipartisan issue, but I don't think we're at that phase yet. We have to get there. So everyone came to this public school committee meeting, and when the chair of my school committee said, this individual who's been filing all these requests we have found is linked to a national racist organization called Parents Defending Education. They thought that I would be ruined. I don't know what they thought I would do, but the whole room started laughing. They looked like absolute fools, and it backfired on them. And that's what we need to start doing. We need to start fading them. I dare you to call me a racist. Because now we're going to reach a phase where we laugh at you. And when that happens, they don't know what to do. It's like their pants are down. All their magic words that they use against you no longer have any power. So you need to take that risk. If something happens to you, go public. Because when you go public and you go in front of the media and you present yourself as a not crazy person, because we're the not crazy people, remember, and you can present well. I know it's scary. Public speaking is, not everyone's forte. You need to calm yourself down, know what you're going to say, rehearse it in the mirror and in the shower, and when you're driving, have it be airtight. Are you laughing because you went through this, right? I know, exactly. You go on Tucker Carlson and you're like, whew, I need to make sure I make this right. Make it your job. This is your new job to lead this marketing campaign, because make no mistake, this is a cultural revolution, this is a political fight, but it is first and foremost a marketing campaign. And we need to sell our side to people first. We need to convince people that we are the ones that are not crazy. We are the ones that believe in equality. We are the ones that don't want to dehumanize people. So present well, be civil, don't be kind, right? Be aggressive. After that school committee meeting, with all of the support that showed up, they decided not to sue me. I don't think they ever were going to sue me. They just wanted to humiliate me because they had no legal basis to sue me, and they knew it would cost the town lots of money. I thought it was all over after that, and then 2 months later, I got a knock on my door from a constable serving me with a lawsuit from the NEA. They don't have standing, and this is not a matter of legal opinion, this is a matter of Rhode Island law, because there's a 2004 Supreme Court case that says they don't have standing. And when you don't have standing and you bring a lawsuit as an attorney to a court of law where you're supposed to certify, like on the basis of your license as an attorney that you do have standing, that is a big problem. And so on Monday, we get to hear their stupid argument about how they think they have standing when they know they don't. Long story short, now that the NEA has sued me, I get to, and this is my attorney's response, sue them back for an anti-SLAPP suit, because this is strategic litigation against public participation. By submitting my public records request, I was participating as a citizen on matters of public concern, and now the teachers union is coming in to try to interfere with my civil right to access information about my child's education. Their argument is, if we release information to Nicole Solas, our teachers might be harassed. That's not true. And mind you, this organization is not worried about me being harassed. Public information exposes what they are doing in school. Do we want them to be harassed? Of course not. But they should be subjected to public scrutiny if they are indoctrinating our kids. And the NEA is trying to make an emotional appeal by saying, well, they're going to be harassed, they're unsafe, right? Too bad. They put themselves in this situation. Obviously, none of us will harass anybody, but we will expose all of the information that we get from our public records requests. And this is why public records requests are so important. You can spend your whole rest of your life going to school committee meetings, demanding that they give you information. All of this is wonderful that Scott did, but showing them the evidence of, aha, we see you, we know what you're doing, that is not the end game, okay? Get your evidence, do it the way Scott did, which is amazing, get it from public records requests too. The evidence is going to help you then leverage lawsuits, because that is the only way you are going to win in a school district. School districts aren't scared of parents that complain at school committee meetings. They listen to you and tune you out. School districts are scared of lawsuits, though, because lawsuits hit them where it hurts, in their wallet. And they know it, and we know it. This is not like a secret. They're suing me because they want to try to hit me where it hurts. They don't know that I have pro bono representation. They don't know that I don't care when people film me talking, that I'm not releasing any super secret private information either. This is all something we should all know. It's a no-brainer. Once you get your information, get legal advice. Find a public interest law firm that will represent you pro bono, who will then take all of the evidence that you have on your school and challenge them on their policies on the basis of already existing anti-discrimination policies, already existing constitutional rights that you have. Lawyers are thinking of theories all the time on how to say to schools, guess what? You don't get to do what you're doing because it's illegal, and we're going to take you to court and hash that out. So that's the goal. Get the evidence first through public records requests, then get legal advice. Now, the legal advice is the hardest part, right? We don't have all this money to throw away on private attorneys. I got a private attorney when they threatened to sue me, and I had to spend $3,000 on her just coming to this meeting. You know, and like emailing, every email is like $100. So I understand that's not the way to do it. It's the public interest law firms. But here's the other key. Something has to happen to you. There has to be an incident, okay? It's much easier to challenge a policy when that policy has resulted in harm to you or your children. So, for example, there's the case in Nevada. The woman's name is Gabby. I can't remember her last name. The school tried to make her biracial son Gabby Clark, thank you. Choose between being an oppressor or an oppressed person. He refused to do it. They told him he couldn't graduate, and now they have deprived him of his right to an education on the basis of race. That's a problem. So you need an incident. You need something to happen to you, okay? For me, it was easy. First, they threatened to sue me. Now the NEA is suing me. Stuff just keeps happening to me, and I'm not even asking for it. So what that means is you guys gotta take a risk. You know, like, I know this is a separate issue, but it's still related. We've got these mask mandates. You know, can they really make you wear a medical device on your face when we know that the data says what it says? Well, You know, you can hold up signs saying unmask our kids, no mask. You can protest all you want. I think that has a purpose, but that is not going to achieve the goal. What's going to achieve the goal is the whole school or 500 kids or 100 kids, you all get together and you say, we're not wearing the mask. We're going to make them send us home. We're going to make them deprive us of our education. So now we have our damages, and we're going to say, now we're going to sue you because you deprived us of our education on the basis of no law. So you guys have to take a risk. You might suffer a little bit of harm. I mean, I'm here, standing here, telling you that, you know, the harm to me wasn't that bad, but like my whole life has changed. I have, you know, I'm really happy to be here, but you know, before all this happened, I was really excited to learn how to garden. Like, that's what my life was. I wasn't looking to get into politics or be an activist, but now I kind of have no choice. The other thing I want to tell you is get everything in writing. Email your school, and if you call them, record the calls. You are now a Cold War spy. There's no exaggeration. You want to record everything, you want everything in writing, and it's going to help you later, because when I had to tell the media everything that happened to me, I said, yeah, I have the email of what they said. I can substantiate every claim I'm making. Then you write those emails like they're depositions, okay? You're airtight. Don't do the snark, okay? Don't bother with that. Hi, like with me, all I wanted was a tour of the school. Hi, can I have a tour of the school? No. Why? Okay, yes, okay, yeah. Hi, it's been 3 days since you said you would give me a tour. Please advise. No answer. Hi, it's been 10 days now since you said you would give me a tour. Please advise. Hi, it's been 16 days now since you said you would give me a tour. I will not stop asking for a tour. Please advise. This is not my personality. I'm actually like really nice and fun-loving, but when you mess with my kids, I'm not nice and fun-loving, and you guys have to start tapping into that. I don't want to take up too much time. I guess if you have any questions, I really want you guys to take action. I think public records requests are the way to go. Look up your state law and public records requests. Don't be intimidated by like looking up a law, okay? If you're not comfortable like interpreting a law, but you know, these public records request law, they're pretty straightforward. It says that you have a right to request public records, and you get them within a certain amount of time. I would start by sending an email to your superintendent. Hi, I'm looking for the public records request. I'm making a public records request. In my state, if you just clearly state that you're making a public records request, that's sufficient. You don't have to fill out the special form that they give you and you know all that rigmarole. And then you say, if this is not a sufficient request under the law, please direct me to the proper process. In my state, we have people that are designated officers in public entities that accept public records requests, so that way there's no fooling around, no one like didn't get it. We don't, oh, we didn't, sorry, that slipped through the cracks. So ask questions, make them do their job. Can you tell me how I make a public records request of the school for the equity audit that you're doing? Can you tell me how I make a public records request of the school for the definition of, for all of the implicit bias training materials that you produced and the cost and budget of that? You use the public records request law to your advantage to get the information. If they're not getting you, they have to give it to you. And if they don't give it to you, it gets kicked to the Attorney General, who probably doesn't want to be dealing with all these public records requests, right? And all these like OMA problems and public records request problems. I can't think of anything else. Okay, so if anyone has questions, maybe, Yeah, sorry, Julia.
Emily Bravo, I'm fighting we're doing the task force in Prince William County. They just passed the equity in May. Kind of got thrown into this. Thank God I stumbled across Scott. But the problem is, I think, I love what you're saying because I love all this information that we're getting. When you jump into this fight, it's extremely difficult. What am I doing? What is all this about? And you can read, and I love all your information. It informs, but at the same time, I don't have time. So I made a website, and I jumped in, and I started getting to control the people. What I think, and I don't know, I'm sure I'm not the only one, but what I want is what you're giving, which is tell me what to do. How do I do it? What do I ask? And I'm starting off day one. Okay, I don't even know what's going on. I don't know what equity is, but I know it's not good. So is somebody writing a book on the rules for anti-radicals?
Yes.
You know, how do we fight this? And I know there are so many groups out there, all of us, yet we're all seem to be working separately. And I'm thinking we need to come together. this, like you're talking about, where is everybody? Who was saying, where is everybody marching in the streets? We talked about why not a Take Back America march in DC. Why don't we get everybody doing something? But on board, you're trying to find all this. Like I said, I stumbled onto Scott. I have some good people that are in our group. But I think 3 months I've been spinning wheels, and I'm going to the board meetings, and we're filing record requests, and we're doing this. But at the same time, it's really not, there's no path for it. There's no rules for it. So can somebody please put together a site, maybe you're the one to do it, that is, this is where everybody goes. If you are ruling a committee, starting a committee to fight against your school or your county, this is where you start. And here are step after step after step after step of what you need to do, how you need to do it.
I was just gonna say, I think please go to defendinged.org, where we've created, Marissa Fallon is here, she's our director of advocacy and helps with helping parents around the country. But we've created a field guide on the